By the end of this video, you will have everything you need to know about Google Keep. And there will also be a lot of things to keep in mind. Let's see how many times I say those bad Keep jokes in this video. First of all, Google Keep is available on all devices and on the web version, but because it's Google, you can also find it in other applications on the web, most prominently Gmail and Calendar and Drive, which is extremely handy since you probably in those mentioned apps anyway every day and can jot down everything on top of mind. But like I said in a previous video, you want to keep to yourself the reason why you're taking notes in the first place. If you write down everything you don't want to forget, like ideas, or even write out your thinking whenever you're confused or frustrated or anxious, then Google Keep is your #1 tool for high performance in whatever you do, increase focus, and of course, keep the worries and what ifs away. With that said, let's keep on going with actually creating. I gotta stop those now, don't I? You create new notes by clicking this button right here, or also press C if you're on a computer. Then it goes straight into the main text and you have the option to add a title, but you don't have to actually. On Android devices, you're able to use widgets to make it even easier to get to the app. You find it by holding on the home screen, tapping the widget button and add Google Keep it. And then you can edit notes straight from the home screen, which is something I wish you could do on iOS too. Now in terms of formatting, it's pretty simple. You can't. Even by pressing Command B like crazy, I cannot bold that text. However, you can do many cool things, as you can see right here in this menu. First of all, you can either take a photo or choose one that you already have, and then you can annotate that image and even grab the text from the image like this. And this is extremely useful when you're dealing with physical or even handwritten stuff. They're just widely accessible here. And if you're still talking about visuals and stuff like that, you can draw things too. And it's quite simple. You only got certain kind of pencils and eraser, and also a way to select certain parts of the image and do what you want with it. But one of the very cool ways you can do on the phone is to record your voice. If I say, for example, can you please keep me away from all this? Then it will show both the text and also the recording, which I can listen to afterwards in case Google Keep didn't do a good job there. And it's extremely useful if you have your hands full but still want to offload stuff from your brain, which you definitely want. Then you also have the checklist function. Google Keep works a bit differently. You have to decide between everything is a checklist or not at all. You can't do both for some reason. But if you just keep everything you want checked in one note, that will be fine, I guess. Plus, you can also indent into subtasks by dragging each line. Lastly, on the computer, you can also convert a note to Google Docs, which can be very useful if you prefer to work in there, but just keep to sort of prepare yourself for the more writing session called that. Although I personally use note-taking app for all of it. I can't even remember the last time I wrote in Google Docs. But while you might not be able to format the text, you can format the entire note. In this menu, you can pick whatever color you want, or even some selected themes. And because Google Keep is more post-it note, it makes sense to keep the notes in different colors depending on various areas or other kinds of systems that make sense for you, just to get that quick glance on everything you have and which note belongs to which, etc. Wait, why did I keep this? What does it even say? Keep calm and oh, okay. If you like this ultimate guide about note-taking apps and more like this, feel free to subscribe. I'll keep making more videos like this, but for every single popular note-taking app, so you better keep up with this. Okay, I really gotta stop now. And that just reminded me of reminders. For all your notes, you can click this bell button right here, and then you can select when you want to be reminded. And aside from these pre-selected times, you can also select your own. You can also let it remind you like this based on location. You can set up your home and work location here, but also choose a custom one. And Google is also behind Google Maps, so it should be fine. But even if you don't have reminders, you might want to find notes anyway. And because Google is a giant search engine, searching works fantastic here too. And aside from keywords in the title and within notes, you can also search by type of note, which can be useful when you're dealing with different media and so forth. But other than that, Google Keep is pretty much drag and drop. So you can arrange the order of the notes by simply dragging them. And you can also pin certain notes by clicking this icon over here, which is very useful if you go back to a certain note over and over again, and if it's related to work or other daily activities. You also got labels, which is Google Keep's equivalent to tags and folders. And for every note, you can click this button, and right here you can either decide to create a new label or just choose your existing ones. And like Gmail, all the labels show up here in this sidebar, and whenever you click these, the corresponding note shows here too. And lastly, you also have the ability to archive notes. And when you archive a note, it's not deleted. You have to delete the note, but archive note is something different. Just hidden behind this menu over here, just like in Gmail once again. And because it's extremely useful in Gmail to archive pretty much anything, you can also do so in Google Keep and only keep the recent or most important ones close to you at all times to kind of keep it decluttered. And with Google Keep, despite this looking so simple, you can actually collaborate with other people. You simply click this button right here and then write the names and email addresses. It does not need to be Gmail, it could be anything, so it's very inclusive here. And then it's very simple to remove the participants once you no longer need them. And if you also create a family group, let's say for other Google services, you can share specifically to them, and it works the same way as well. And to list off some features in there, despite how simple it looks, Google Keep has quite a few shortcuts. And rather than listing them here, like saying them word for word, I'll instead leave a link in the description that you can check it out, which I highly recommend. Google Keep also has its own Chrome extension, which is very easy to install. And then whenever you browse the web, you can click that extension, add your own comment, and it will be saved together with the article link, so you can come back later if you want to. And you can also copy and paste the best bits as highlights, so you can build your personal knowledge management that way. And also when it comes to images, you can right click and save to keep that way too. But of course there are external plugins too, like for instance this one, who allows you to indent text and do more what you can in the app, at least a lot by the way. And there's also another extension which opens up the note in full screen if you prefer that when you do some serious writing and so forth, get that focus. And lastly, Google Keep is of course free. And you've probably seen how much you can do despite being so simple. So it's definitely an app worth to keep. And speaking of that, we made quite a lot of jokes here, I just realized, but nonetheless, I hope you have everything you need now to start writing with Google Keep. But in case you're a die-hard Apple fan and do not want anything to do with Google, Apple Notes will be your #1 app. And it's actually a very powerful one, and by the time you finish watching this video, you will have everything you need to know in order to use Apple Notes effectively. So I'll see you right there, but always remember that you're the most amazing human being alive.